It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. um, so I thought I would start off with showing you all the tree, and it's already got presents under it. and I decorated it this year by myself, and it's the first year I've not put Lynetta on. And if I look outside, there's loads of my red lights reflect in the window, but over there's multicoloured lights, and there's loads of trees opposite me because I live, I've got neighbours everywhere because I live bang in the city that there's just houses and flats everywhere. So I thought I would do my video in here today because I've never recorded in this room, and considering there's a nice tree in here, I thought it would add a bit of Christmas spirit to the video. And I got this jumper this week, and it's my new Christmas jumper. And over there, the stockings are hanging up. It's just getting dark at the moment, as you can see, and there's snow outside, so it's been actually the nicest day for weather here. Anyway, I'm going to, I guess, talk about my week. And my week, being a bit blur. Basically, on Monday, I went shopping, and I was really proud of that because I hadn't been shopping in ages. I got this jumper, and I was just really proud that I sustained myself for it. And on Tuesday, I had my maths tutor, and Wednesday, I had a driving lesson. However, on Tuesday, I knew I wasn't feeling right. And on Wednesday, for my driving lesson, I woke up with a racing heart. I felt so sick. I felt so ill. I came downstairs and I was like, there's no way I can do this. I feel so bad. And my mum was like, I'll cancel. I was like, no, I can't cancel. I had to cancel last week. And I am seriously so stubborn. So I was like, I'm going. And I literally threw myself out of the front door into the car. And I was such a mess. Actually, like 2 minutes beforehand, I'd been lying on the floor, feeling faint, crippled in stomach pains, feeling like I was going to throw up. I kept saying to myself, I wonder if anyone's ever been in a driving instructor's car and thrown up before. Because that's how I felt. Oh, I just got a text message. And, okay, Olivia, concentrate. What was I saying? Isn't it annoying how I'm totally focused on saying something and I just read a text message and then it just totally goes. Oh yeah, car lesson. And then I was in the car and I did a lot of driving. At one point I had the biggest POTS attack and I thought, oh no, I didn't know what I was going to do because I just had the biggest POTS attack. My heart rate went to like easily 180. And it's not been doing that for a good few months, and I felt terrible. I felt so bad. Somehow I pushed through it. I got home, I completed the lesson, and the ironic thing was I was in this situation in the car where I was going on this really busy road and there was a van behind me and I was turning left and the van started coming up behind me, like putting pressure on, and I handled it fine, and my instructor said afterwards, you handled that situation really well because most people get really panicky when that happens. And I'm thinking, you have no idea how fast my heart is right now. Like, my heart rate will be like the speed of 10 panic attackers. Like, oh my god. So yeah, anyway, I got through it, but my stomach was just a mess. And yeah, and that night, yeah, I spent that night in the bathroom, shall we just say, with my stomach. Yeah, I'm not going to get into details. It was really bad. Oh, I may as well just say it, just diarrhea, and it just was hell. And I knew that the next day was my grand's funeral, and I thought, how am I going to go to a funeral when I can't get out of my bathroom? Somehow I did it though, and I was out the house from 12:30 in the afternoon, and I got home at 9:30 at night. So big achievement, and it went fine, as well a funeral can go. I got to it, so that's good. And everyone came up to me and told me how good I looked and blah blah blah, and how I didn't look ill. And I'm like, yeah, haha, I don't look ill, but I am ill. This one person came up to me and said, you look really good, you look all sparkly and you just don't look ill. And I said, right, but I am ill. And then afterwards, I got a message saying, sorry if I offended you earlier, I didn't mean to. So that was a bit awkward. But yeah, I don't really take these things personally. I mean, you just can't let it get to you, really. And then what did I do? And then Friday, I did nothing. Like, I just rested all day because I was exhausted. And all Friday night, I spent in the bathroom, again with more diarrhea, which is lovely. Just my stomach's giving me so much pain and aggravation this week, it's insane. But moving on, and then today is Saturday, I'm recording this a day early, and there's ice outside and snow, and I went and walked to the local shops, and like when I say local shops, I walked to the local bookshop with my mum and dad, and whilst they chose some Christmas presents for people, and yeah, that's about it really for my week, and I'm really hoping my stomach starts to behave because I have such a busy week ahead of me. And I won't say what I'm doing now, I'll wait till next week's video. Or I could just say, yeah. Basically today's Saturday, I'm going to a Christmas party tonight with my next door neighbours. On Monday, I'm going to my old school's formal Christmas dance as my best friend's plus one. That's how I'm going. Tuesday, I've got a driving lesson. Wednesday, I've got an English tutor. Thursday, I've got a friend's birthday party. And then I don't know what I'm doing. So I've got a really busy week and I can't afford. My stomach is the one thing I can't control. And, it's like, even when you have a fast heart rate, you can still hide it sometimes. Whereas if you get the stomach pain that I get, literally, I drop to the floor, I could get crippled over in pain, I start screaming and writhing in pain. It's just the worst ever. Ugh. So yeah, that's been my week, and it was actually quite good in the funeral because I got to see some family and yeah. Okay, so I'm going to answer the questions, and I've had them on my phone, so I just need to find them. Okay, Lauren, I think you asked, are you self-conscious? Do you overthink things? No, I'm actually not self-conscious because for me personally, I found that when I was a little girl and I was growing up, and I'd always get my school reports would come back every term, every year. They'd always be like, yeah, very hardworking, intelligent, blah blah, but shy. And literally every year it would come back I was shy, and I never really saw myself as a shy person. But since being ill, it's given me a new sense of who I am, and I am not self-conscious in the slightest because being ill has taught me to kind of get the most out of everything and to not put up with crap, basically, and to appreciate what I do have, and just, yeah, I don't know, it's hard to explain really, but like when you get everything taken away from you, like your health, I won't take no for an answer. If someone tells me I can't do something, if that makes sense. I don't know, but yeah. But I'm not a self-conscious person since with my illness, so However, I do overthink things. I overthink everything. And you're saying how you feel bad for moaning when others have it worse. You shouldn't ever feel bad, because everyone's scale of how they feel is totally different, and everyone's problems are, just as bad as each other's. Everyone handles things in a different way, and we're always here for you, so never feel that you can't tell us stuff and things like that. Yeah. Okay, Caroline, any suggestions on what to read? No. Okay, I'll answer that question in a minute, because I was just going to say that you said with the seasons you've been getting worse. Yeah, same here. And your nausea's been worse after eating again, and same here. But your question for the books. Okay, so this is going to be to do with a bit more I'm going to talk about. So with my reading, I have not read a book since I've been ill. It started since I had glandular fever, mono, when I was 11, and I've not really read a book since. And I always used to be, I don't like blowing my own trumpet, but I always used to be a really intelligent person. I'd always get really high grades in school and everything. And people always say, if you don't read, you're not very intelligent, and I have stopped reading since I've become ill, but that's just because I found it really difficult because of the effort it takes. And so years ago, when I was 12, I went to see an eye specialist. They ran every test possible, literally. I had wires stuck all around my brain, and they put these wires under my eyes, and they wired me up to so many machines. It was horrible. They thought I might have had tumours and things, but I didn't, and they couldn't find anything wrong with my eyes apart from the professor I saw diagnosed me with clutter problems. And again, it's kind of this new thing where whatever you see, if there's too much in the picture, your brain just all kind of blurs into one, and you can't focus on the thing you're wanting to focus on. So for example, when you read a book, you open a page and there's like 200 words in front of you, and it's like, whoa. Whereas if I opened a page and there was one word on it, it goes in straight away, if that makes sense. So for example, when I read on the computer, I use my mouse on the computer to highlight every word as I go down, so I don't miss any, so I'm kind of decluttering it. And the advice my doctor gave me was declutter my bedroom, so when I'm lying in bed, the wall that I look at, make sure it's totally blank. Make sure you don't have anything out. If you go to school, make sure you sit at the front of the class and ask them to declutter around the board so that you can just focus on the board rather than the things around it. Things like when you're out in the car. When I was a little child, my parents would always say, oh, look at that. Say we'd drive past something, and I'd say, what, where? And I would look out the window, and I wouldn't be able to focus on one particular thing. I'd always miss it, and they'd be like, how can you miss that? And I'm like, I don't know. Whereas when we'd park a car in a supermarket, I would come out and I wouldn't be able to find the car because I'd just see loads of cars. I wouldn't be able to identify our car. And he said that it was to do with post-viral, and it was the strain that the virus had taken out on my eyes, and he said that I should grow out of it within a decade. Now, so in relation to that, I can't recommend any books for you to read, Caroline, but I am, however, I'm going to be starting to read in the new year with my English, so I'll let you know how that goes on. Anyway, the point I'm making about this is, at my grand's funeral, this doctor turned up, that one I saw when I was 12, and he asked me how my eyesight was, and I said, you know what, the clutter is getting a lot better. For example, I can now learn to drive, I can see all the number plates of the cars, I can see everything around me, and I can, whenever I'm in the car, someone can point something out and I can always see it. However, I said I still struggle with just reading, and he gave me a few more suggestions. but he said he's now retired now, but he publishes papers and textbooks about the subject because this is his speciality, is clutter, and so he wants to question me and write about me for his next paper. So that'll be exciting, kind of. So that leads me on to my question. Do you have any eyesight problems? If so, what are they and what do you do to help? For me, glasses don't help me, they don't fix me. I actually have other things with my eye. I'm short-sighted in this eye, long-sighted in this eye. I have astigmatism and I have 2 different coloured eyes, very slightly. I don't know if you can see in this light. That one's greener and that one's browner. I don't know if you can see in that light, but yeah. So, yeah. But the main problem being clutter. So yeah, that's my question, and I hope everybody has a good festive week, and I will see you all on Christmas.